Hey, good morning, everyone. How are ya? How are you? Let's just get a couple people logged on here. And I'm really excited about today and what I have been waiting forever and ever, like you, to do our magic garden forever. But as we wait for people to load on, I'll just give you a little update. And I have something really creepy to show you too. So um, so we found this on the Humane Society social. Happy, happy, so happy, happy, happy. The cat is just amazing. Unfortunately, she's still got some kind of upper respiratory thing going on. So, more antibiotics, and boy, she loves that. But I have to show you a really cute picture here I just took moments ago. This basket has been in the family forever and ever and ever. So much that Bruzette, that's his cat, was made it on the cover of Kids Start Quilting 100 years ago. And what's so sweet is that D. Christopher, these are my test marketers for this book. And here, this kid is now a principal up in the Sonora area. It's hard to do backwards. She just got married. So that tells you how long this whole book is. But man, the cats just love that basket. I don't know why, but they do. I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to feature it. And the Humane Society gave her that little snuggie blanket to put wherever she wanted to sleep so that it would smell like home. Okay, so yesterday I got my windows washed, and it's been like forever because of construction, maybe even a year. And so Dave does it, his great job. It's like, oh, I got to put sunglasses on inside. He took off his screen and he said, look at this, look at this. It was a spider. And I'm not wigged out about spiders at all. I am wigged out about snakes. And if you're wigged out about snakes, I will tell you when to close your eyes. When we were just back there with the kids in Tennessee, oh, it's so beautiful there. I don't know if I showed you this on Monday. It's so beautiful. Um, we happened upon a snake. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't like snakes, close your eyes. I really toyed with whether I should show this or not. So we were in the car driving, and we go up to a stoplight. Oh, God. I'll take it off now. Right there. Fortunately, I took a camera picture of it, but even getting this thing ready this morning, I'm like, well, I don't even know if I want to show that. I hate snakes. I hate everything about them. And so what is that woman supposed to do with that snake when she pulls into the store? Which she did. She pulled into a parking lot of a store. Creepers beyond creepers. Oh, well, I guess it takes all types, right? Okay, so let's see what I want to go past that stupid snake. So you guys have been sending me some pictures, which are really great. But Jane wrote us and thanked us for the kit, of which I think we have a couple dozen left. Look at how it's all laid out so beautifully. Jane, you would die laughing if you saw my workspace right now. I believe I believe we are opposites, but it doesn't look so pretty. It looks so pretty. And I'm really excited to get going, actually dig into the felt today. So before we do that, let's take a look at this. Phyllis, yet another ribbon. And where are my notes on this? It was at her local quilt show. Oh, come on, Alex. Well, see, I'm opposite of Jane. Well, it was her local, she got a blue ribbon, okay? Let's just say that. And if you're on, Jane, you can say where you're from. Here it is. Say this is beyond stupid that I can't find it. It was, Wendy Williams' 2021 Block of the Month with us at the Quilt Show. And hopefully, I'm not going to slaughter this. Sinisippi in Rockford, Illinois. Sinis, like Mississippi, but it's Sinisippi Quilters. I don't know. But anyways, I can tell you right now, this feels really, really good. And as we get ready for, I'm sorry, I gotta tell you what's going on outside. I have two wonderful guys here who are working on our fountain that's been broken like forever and ever. So excuse me for my distraction, or if they come in and ask me a question or something. So I was talking about how great Paducah was. I did not show you this on Monday, but I wanted to show it. It was important to me for you to see it. And this quilt is called My Secret Garden, Megumi Mizuno, maybe from Japan. Okay, put on your seatbelts for this. First, you walk by and you go, okay, Grandma's flower garden. Oh, that's kind of a nice border, right? Holy Toledo. Look at that. Look at that. That applique, that the stitching and the little mushrooms are right there. And I think this is another one right here. Oh, that's that one. Is it this one? Oh, no, I'll go to her in a second too. Anyways, it was just filled with this stuff, filled. And you can see in the upper right-hand corner, there's mushrooms. We're into mushrooms now. So I was at the booth and this, I don't have your name and I'm sorry. This gal came up and she made a little version of our spinning spools. You know, I think it's, if you are not intending to make a full project, no big deal. But then what can you do with it, right? Well, she made a wall hanging out of it. It could be for a bag, it could be for a pillow, all sorts of good stuff. So when you show me your things, it really, really makes me happy so I can share with everybody else. Carol, that was one of your favorites too. Well, yeah, because that's got your name written all over it with all that minutia that was going on in that. Also at Paducah, we have a TQS exhibit that's going around to all the AQS shows. It debuted in Road to California. Our team went to a lot of work to get this thing pulled together, because not only did we have to get quilts from the artists, like I thought of this. Kristen and Lilo came up with the idea to have QR codes on the quilt so that people could take a snap of the QR code and then go home and learn how they made the quilt. And those are excerpts from our shows. So let me show you. I was staggered by the beauty of the show. Staggered. Okay, Mary, in fact, I'm ready to get going right now, Mary. So, if you're going to any AQS shows, excuse me this year before I get to you, Mary. If you're going to any AQS shows, I would seek out this exhibit, and it is pretty jaw-dropping. And I also am very pleased that the artists that have been on the show were willing to relinquish their quilts for a year. So you don't want to miss this. They got 2 more shows that they're going to. Okay. So here we go. Let me answer Mary's question. When I stitched my pieces together, I did tighten up the stitch, and I guess I'm a real poop for not telling you that. I didn't even think about it, but I did tighten up the stitch a little bit. Now, let me tell you how we're going to rock and roll with this whole thing. Today, we're going to talk about cutting out the pieces that are on the pattern and how I did it. Again, if you go and take classes from other people, they might be doing it differently, but I am not going to remake this quilt. So I thought I might do a little side project, and then you might pick up some freebies along the way. I just want to get your brain stimulated on what can you do to make this project yours. But first, let's talk about, what do I want to do first? Let's talk about cutting out the pieces to the project, all right? Let me stand up and get on this camera. All right. So here's the pattern, and what I'm going to be dealing with today, I'm going to bring this down a little bit, is the smaller mushroom. That's what I'm going to do. What I did is I got myself some freezer paper. I think everybody has that in their cupboard, right? Unless you're overseas, and then it's a little harder to get your hands on. It's my understanding. But what I did was let me put this here. This is the guy I'm going to work with. And by the way, we've gotten, and it's not me, it's Kristen who wrote up this pattern, tons of compliments on how pretty it is. And it really, it is beautiful. It is just beautiful. And I customized mine a little bit too. So we're going to deal with this guy right here. So you take your freezer paper and you put it shiny side down. You don't need a light box for this at all. You have a couple choices. You can trace directly on it, or you can trace a little bit out and then trim off the paper. Either works. But the main thing you want to pay attention to is you can see here that this tucks underneath, right? You need to know that. And there's going to be places where things tuck underneath. So when I traced this is what I did. I'll show you both ways. I went like this. Well, I'll show you one way and then I'll demo one the other way. Like this. Doesn't have to be exact. It can be as funky because it's folk art, right? What I need to know now is that this little piece, this stem, is going to tuck under here. So I just went like that. And that reminds me that it's going to tuck under here, which means when you cut it out, you want to cut it a little bit longer or go a little bit longer. So let's do it now with a 1/4 inch on it or whatever on it. It's not a big deal. Let me grab the iron and the ironing surface. And again, you're going to have a hot iron, no matter. So here you can see here, I've cut out the stem a little bit longer, right? And conserve the wool. Conserve it, conserve it, conserve it. In fact, I think that might be dumb to do that right there. I think I'm going to do it here. This stuff is expensive. And again, we've done our best to keep you from not having to buy, too much. But you will have a little leftovers and you just want to hang on to it. So now, shiny side down, it's stuck onto it. Okay? The good news is on this pattern and on this piece, there's really no right or left, except maybe his beard, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if it went the other way. The good news in working with wool, and when you press it down and you cut around it, you are going to have it go the right way, okay, because you're tracing from the top. So I'm going to just cut around it. I can hear the kitty snoring. Still working on names, although I'm kind of landing on Abigail. She was David's third wife and King David in the Bible, and she was the most beautiful of all. All right, so here I've cut it out, right? And there I've got the stem. And now I would do the same thing with the top, and there you go. Okay, so let me show, and then for the circles, if you have an AccuQuilt Go, it will work wonders for you. But you could also trace a dime. I'm looking at my sew tights. I wonder if they're even this size. Yeah, I think the sew tights. I mean, anything that's small that you can, work with, that's great. Just cut it out. But I love my Go for this. I love my Go, and I've got a baby Go and a regular Go, but I use the baby most of all because for these circles, you can't beat it. All right. So here is my little square that I have pressed open, and I've sewn it together. I sewn this to this, this to this, and I'm going to make a little something. I don't know what it is, but I know that this is on top. Okay, the first thing that I discovered, or a lot of things I discovered, we have these squared up rulers, and they're really designed for machine embroidery, but I didn't know where to put the mushroom. So I'm lining all of this up right here, and I can see this is the center and this is the center, so that when I go to put my little guys on, I can go here and here and know that it has all been lined up. So again, this was originally designed for, I wouldn't use it for squaring up blocks. I would use it for squaring up embroidery and things like that. And what's so cool is it's got these cuts in it so that your blade can go all the way down and get your clean cut. Okay? So now, oh yeah, I started using this and I'm like, well, okay, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. Okay, note, there's rickrack here. You're going to get a side lesson from me. Again, I'm not going to make the same thing over and over. I can't do it. So I got this really cool rickrack. I think it was from Joann's before they went out of business here. And it's so cute. It's so small. And I thought, now, wouldn't that be cute? Look at, I did it crooked. Does that bother me? No. Okay. Wouldn't that be cool to run a rickrack under there? Another thing is that in piecing this background, I went for the rule of thirds, and I did not want to have this line in the center or this line in the center, just for good basic design. So let me stand up. Uh-oh, our buddy's coming over. She goes, oh, come on, sweetie. We love you. All right. So how I did this, and again, it's nowhere on your pattern. This is just something that I did that's an extra. I didn't use the so tight pins or magnets because they wouldn't really work here. I just pinned down the rickrack by going under, over, under. And then to make sure it was straight on here, I just ran a ruler against it to make sure it was straight. You could also just use something to mark it that's not permanent, etc. So I've got my little thread here and my glasses and my cat. I am thinking about Abigail. Okay, if I said that already. Everybody I call will come up with a new name and they'll go, yes, no, and that's probably my problem. Oh, do you want to work on this too? Okay. So you can see, okay, down you go, baby. We love you. I'm so happy you're mine. I came up in from the wool into the rickrack. And I'm just going to go down. I know that this is going to be caught up in the seams, the edge here. Okay. And then what I did, shoot, I think I'm doing it backwards for me. I went from here to here, come up here, and I use the same color thread. Same color thread as the green, but I also used a variegated. I use a lot, oh, I'm caught on the needles. Let's get rid of that, or the pin, etc. And it just adds a fun little something to the whole thing, and it's super easy. And if you've never worked with wool and you take that first stitch, your heart is going to jump out of its skin. It's so wonderful to work with. Okay, so again, I'm not making the same thing as you because I'm not going to do two things at once. Oh, let's go down to the light. But I am going to make something that will be wonderful using all the stitches that we're going to learn through this whole thing. There we go. And the thing that's so great about wool, you don't even have to use a thimble. It's that supple to go through. So you can see here how beautiful the variegated is. Okay. What I want you to do now, and people, this is going to take some time, all right? I want you to cut out all the pieces using your freezer paper, laying them out, etc. If you have the background done, you can maybe just position them on it. But if you want to get it exactly right, don't sew, don't do anything. On Monday, I'll show you something I learned from Becky Goldsmith, which is super cool, on how you can position these things exactly on the background. You don't have to. It's your piece. You can do whatever you want, right? But, oh, that's being naughty. No big deal. Just cut it all out. This is going to take you some time. Just enjoy the process. And then on Monday, how to position them, and then how I stitch it down. And it is not this. This is not how I stitch it down, but that's Monday. Okay. Any questions? My cat just came. Oh, that is so funny. We have a Henrietta kitty. Maybe French knots at each rickrack point. Yes, Kathy. Especially if you were using a wider rickrack. That would be wonderful. One of the things I love about Sue Spargo's books is that they just give you, and also her Instagram, they just give you so many different ideas. So that's your assignment this weekend, all right? And I have to show you something really neat that you've been asking for here in a moment. You'll get it all cut out. Don't start sewing it down. Just don't do that yet. Get it ready to go. And then on Monday, we'll go to the next phase. Here's what you need to know is because this is not a quilt in the day project. Now she just took my chair. Because this is not a quilt in the day project, on Mondays, I will primarily be teaching. And then on Wednesdays, we've got some really great interviews for you. Ricky caught up with 3 different people at Paducah you're going to want to hear from. I'm still working with Operation Kid Comfort. We're going to be showing you what our summer project's going to be, and all this good stuff is coming up. But here we go. You asked for it, and we listened. Make sure that there's not any rolling bobbin. John's not here to. Okay, I think John's up at the cabin with his brother. Okay, Carol, you can make 2 copies at Staples, or you can, yeah, that's a good idea too. Don't forget to mention one of your quilts is displayed with the other quilts at TQS. Yes, one of mine is. And it's not the best. I can guarantee you that. We're talking about Paducah. Okay, it all started with the 45. Go down here. It all started with the 45 rotary cutter. And oh, we love this rotary cutter. It's weighted. You can use it left-handed. You can use it right-handed. And how you open it is you simply press in this button right here, this one here, and while it's pressed in, you just touch your mat and you're ready to go. To close it, you just roll it in your hand and go like that. So everybody loved this, all right? And I know a lot of you have it. Then came the big one. Oh, wait, that's just, wait, maybe that is the big one. What am I doing here? Here we go. What am I doing? Then came, here's Mama Bear, here's Papa Bear, and they do take regular blades, although our blades are a little less expensive and they're super good. So what if happens when Mama Bear and Daddy Bear gets together? Yep, it's here. We got a 28. Super excited about this. Now, it also has blades to go with that. Now, it opens differently than these two. And in fact, when I'm done here, I'm going to make a video that we can share with you. If you just go like this and touch down, because the radius is so small going around, it's not going to work. So what you need to do is you need to, and this is going to foil some people at first, so you need to push in and then just on an angle open it, and then you're going to be fine. Okay? Just open it at an angle. You're just scooting it out a little bit more. And that's all you have to do. Whereas this is just straight up and down. Be like taking this and just going a little bit more of an angle. All right? So understand that with this rotary cutter, because when I first did it, I'm going, oh my gosh, what's going on? And they said it's the size on how the whole thing works. So no big deal. You just go like that. And they are in the store. Yay! Okay. Remember, here comes my buddy. If you are a paid subscriber, oh, there's something else I want to say too. A paid subscriber to thequiltshow.com, every time you renew or every time you, or when you join, up in your dashboard, which is in the upper right-hand corner, is something that says it says you get a 25% coupon in the store, 25% off of whatever you get, all right? And the other, and then use it, and then you'll get another one when you renew. But the other really good news is that we have the Giganto Rotary mats available, the ones that are 36 by 60, and this is at thequiltshow.com. The problem is that shipping it is formidable. I mean, just formidable. They're completely out at the warehouse. We have, I believe, 3. If you are interested in one of these, and I would say live in the Bay Area, because I don't think you want to spend $150 for shipping, okay? These mats, if you spend over $100, shipping is not free. And so if you want one, you could drive over to the warehouse. We'll buy it before. You'll call customer service. The phone number is on the site, thequiltshow.com. And then they can pull it for you, and then you can come over and get it. It's heavy. It's like about 50 or 60 pounds. It's a beautiful mat. It's two-sided, the whole bit. It took us 2 or 3 years to be able to recreate what we had 3 or 4 years ago, just because things changed, and we've done it, and they were gone like Jiminy Cricket, gone, all right? So let me look at more comments. All right. No seam allowance for wool. If something needs to tuck under, then add a 1/4 inch. Okay. That's exactly right. There's no seam allowance because you're not rolling it. And that's the beauty of wool, if it's not going to fray on you. And if you do have to tuck it under, 1/4 inch. Thank you. All right. Carol, I have 3 TQS rotary cutters. I do too. Why did she use a seam allowance when you don't turn the wool under like you do cotton? I did the seam allowance because this has to tuck under. Oh, for here. Wouldn't that be nice if you could see? For here, some people like to just have that little extra that you're going to trim off at the end, when you're going to cut it clean. One teacher will tell you to do it one way, another teacher will tell you to do another way. I landed on the exact same size, all right? And then, of course, what Carol's talking about is the extra is going to be when this goes under here, like this, right? Right there. Okay, does that make sense? Kevmirth, does that make sense? Yeah. Oh, let me show you how to change the blade, because that's the real show-off thing on this whole thing. All right, so like in some of the brands, you have to take it apart and lay it out, and which way does the cup go, blah, 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 right? On here, this little piece right here, put your new blade on. It's a magnet. You can see that there's a little flat part there, and there's a little flat part there. You align it, and then that's it, it's done. If this piece breaks, we have replacement parts. It happens, I don't know why, not that much, but that is a replacement part, so you're not out of luck. And again, it takes the standard rotary cutter blades, so again, I would use ours. Okay, sit back down. You guys are the best. Kathy, thank you for that compliment. Okay, so Friday, I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but today I'm going out with my best friend for her birthday. We have a secret hiding place that we always go, so we're going to do that. And I appreciate you spending your time with me. If you don't want to lay it out on the background, you could lay it out on like a pizza box that's covered with felt or whatever, and go from there. But just get them cut out and take your time and enjoy the process. And where it's going to become trickery, I'm going to go back to this. Oh, where is that? Is when you get into things like Mr. Gnome, okay? So this obviously went on top of this. I think I probably cut it, some of it out. And then the little face went on top of that. And the little hat went on top of face. So that's the kind of things you're going to have to be thinking about when you do your little overlappy. And I think that's really the only trickery one, because the rest, it's just the mushrooms. And then this is just an extra piece of wool on top of this. So anywho, have fun stitching. I hope you fall in love with this like me. When I started even working on this new little one, I just got all so excited. I couldn't stand it. All right. All right, that's it. We'll see you Monday, and I'll show you different ways to arrange it if you just don't want to go free form, okay? Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Before I sign up, Kathy, what's the part number for the cutter? I don't know. It would be a Quilter's Select. It's a Quilter's Select thing. So you could call RNK Distributing in Knoxville, Tennessee, and they could tell you exactly what it is. I don't know off the top of my head, okay? And we might have them in our store. I don't know. They're a couple bucks, okay? So thank you so, so much, and we'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.